You're up, Ken.
I'm up. All right.
Ken is the co-owner of Gazelle Sports, has competed in 18 marathons. 18 marathons.
Yes.
Has taken classes in biomechanics, focusing, of course, knee, hip, foot. I think you've been co-owner of Gazelle Sports now, I think, for 20 years, which is
hard to believe, you know. I started when I was 15, so.
Yeah. So, and a great place to shop. It's where I've gotten all my athletic equipment. And I think you'll enjoy what Ken has to say. Go for it.
Thank you. Well, I've known Dr. Boer for maybe 15 plus years. And,
yes.
I've been a patient of his for a number of years and always appreciated and understood what he was trying to do, because what he believes in are things that I believe in as well. Just kind of a side note, as I was listening to him earlier, I've been fortunate in meeting a lot of elite athletes and so forth, just like he has. And if there's one example of how important just being fit is in this room, or this message that I want to send, is I was fortunate enough to meet Greta Weitz, who Doc couldn't remember who she was. She had won New York City Marathon 9 times. And about 3 years ago, she was diagnosed with liver cancer. And, you know, pretty tragic scenario. And she went through the whole thing with chemotherapy and everything else. And one of the things that they found in her recovery is that because she was so fit, she was able to recover twice as fast as a regular liver cancer patient. Mm-hmm. And she's really, it's really kind of enlightened her about the importance of being fit throughout the life. I mean, she obviously hasn't competed competitively for a number of years, but she still continued to be fit and active, which obviously with that type of background, she's going to want to stay fit.
It's a huge immune boost. Being fit is it's incredible. Yeah. And I mean, look how Lance Armstrong recovered.
Exactly.
Also. Right. It's unbelievable.
Right. And she's. Yeah. I mean, again, it's a testament of just moving the body. I mean, I think that's the message that he's trying to send to all of us. Is you just got to move the body, because the body can recover, and it just allows you to flush and move through so much that you accumulate by not moving your body. So, anyways, that's not where I was asked to speak here, but just kind of around to reinforce where he was coming from. But what I want to talk about was the importance of, as he had mentioned earlier, good equipment. And one of the most important pieces of equipment is the shoe. Most of the people here, hopefully, let's get a raise of hands. How many people are walking versus running, or walkers? How many people are out running right now? Okay, see, and Nike has a saying, and as we have to see in the industry, Nike's philosophy is that if you have a body, you're an athlete. Pretty bold statement, but nobody should consider themselves not an athlete. If you are moving, if you can get up, if you can do anything, you're an athlete. And don't downgrade yourself in saying, well, I don't run 10 miles a day, or I don't run, this fast, or I'm not as competitive as this person. It doesn't matter. You are your own athlete. And you got to take care of yourself as your own athlete. And one of the key things, pieces of equipment that we talk about at Gazelle Sports certainly is the shoe. Footwear is probably the most important piece of equipment that you can make an investment in. And there are a variety of different places you can buy shoes. And I'm not saying that we're going to solve every one of your problems, but I just want to kind of give you an idea of things to look for, because shoes are the heart and soul of keeping you going. Okay? When you look at shoes, it isn't all a matter of, well, what color is it, or does it match this outfit, or anything like that, which is important. And they try, and the manufacturers try to, they don't always make their shoes black and gray and boring colors at all. So I mean, they are trying to address that as well. However, the key thing is making sure that you're fit properly, but you're also fit in the shoe that is working for your foot. And everyone's foot is a little different. So again, that's where what we try and do is make sure that we take a look at your foot biomechanically, determining how much support or cushioning your foot needs. And everybody's foot is different. So don't say that, well, because so-and-so is the person that I walk with, they like this shoe, though that means that should be a good shoe. That's not usually the case. Because again, just like everyone's thumbprint is different, everyone's biomechanics are a little different too. So what we want to kind of go over is taking a look at, again, taking a look at the function of the foot. And everyone's foot has a tendency, and Doc, you can pipe in if you, you know, if you can, please. Typical wear pattern on anyone's foot is you strike on the outside of the heel, and then you actually start to roll over what we call pronate. And again, that's the way the way the body naturally is designed to help absorb shock. Okay. Now again, that is an important part of keeping in mind of the type of shoe that you need to have, because the degree that you roll in is the degree of how much support your foot needs. Some people have a tendency of being a little less rolling to the inside or pronating. They have a tendency of needing a shoe that needs a little more cushioning, where those that have a tendency of rolling a lot more to the inside, they have a tendency of needing a shoe that's maybe a little firmer to give it a little more support. I'm giving you some really basic type things to look at, and there are a lot of different ways, different things you can read about, and we can do a little quick. I have Sarah from the store as well. Afterwards, we can do a quick analysis of your feet as well. So feel free if you want to stick around to it. But again, the key thing is making sure not only does the shoe fit your foot, but you've got a really good heel counter to the shoe as well. Okay, the reason why the heel counter is so important, this is one thing that you can separate between a $30 shoe and a $70 shoe in a lot of cases, is that if you take this outside this heel, and you can see on this shoe, you really can't, by taking your fingers, you really can't squeeze it, and they don't come together. This is a really important part of the shoe, because what this allows your foot, what this does is it holds your foot. Okay, when you're walking or running, you're striking on the outside of the heel, and you're again coming to the inside. If we can control this part of this heel, or what we call the calcaneus, this is a lever arm. If we can hold that lever arm really securely, we can prevent a lot of that movement of the foot. And you think, well, what difference is that going to make? Well, the shoe or the foot is actually, I call, kind of the foundation of the rest of your body. So if we can get your foot in a good position where it doesn't move as much, we can eliminate a lot of the what I call the discouragements of fitness, whether it be a knee that bothers you. Shin splints are a common thing that we hear about for people that are just starting a fitness activity. Also hip pain, things like that. As you start to get more active, you start to become you not only understand your body and know your body a little bit more, but you build strength as well. Again, and some of those will kind of pass through as you get more into your fitness activity. So the other thing that we always try and emphasize is if you come to our store, bring the shoes that you're currently using, so we can take a look at how you're wearing your shoes. I mean, I know we all think we're perfect, but it's not unusual to have maybe one leg a little longer than the other, one foot a little longer than the other. Yep. So again, we can take a look at that, evaluate that, and make sure that we're accommodating for those differences that you may have from one side to the other.
I've always appreciated that about Gazelle Sports, and that's why I repeatedly go back there, because they give me an honest opinion. They're not just trying to sell you the shoe and the most expensive shoe. Really, you got to get the shoe that works for you. Right. And there's a lot of different philosophies in shoes. I noticed in your store you have a barefoot shoe that actually has the toes.
Right.
You carry Nike Free, which is a totally different philosophy.
Which I know you're really into. So.
I'm into that. And then of course we have the ones that prevent pronation, and everybody has different needs, and I think they're very good at fitting those different needs. What are your feelings about the barefoot technology that's out there?
I think where he's going with is basically the concept is that we're allowing the foot to build its own strength, which I agree with. Mm-hmm. I think it's just a matter of, just like anything else, I think maybe here in the United States we take things to an extreme.
Sometimes, yes.
So it isn't necessarily the answer for everybody, but if you're smart about, just like anything else, with moderation and having a plan to it, I think it really is important. And that was the one thing I was going to mention, is as you build strength, the needs of your foot may change as well over a period of time. That's why we always recommend, again, getting your feet evaluated every time you get a pair of shoes. And again, and also as we take a look at how your old shoes are wearing, we can make some determinations. Because again, as you build that strength, whether it's through a shoe like the Nike Free or some of the other things that we have available to us, again, also not just the foot, but also as you build strength around your calves, your hips, your knees, and everything else, your needs may change through the life of your fitness activity. So
yeah,
definitely.